Namaskar, I'm Limesh Parekh, and you are in the chapter number 2 of the Certified Sangam CRM user course. And this chapter is about how the whole sales process is managed in the CRM. What are the modules and how you can use it? You will get a detailed training. So, we are in the first section of the chapter. The title of this video is 2.1. And in this video, we will understand the overall sales process outline and the modules involved. So, let's start. Fundamentally, whenever anyone buys the CRM for sales, there are two ideas. One, I need to track or manage the whole sales process. And two, I need to track and manage my team. I should know who is performing better and how my sales process is working. These are the two fundamental ideas. Now, in this video or in this chapter, basically in the whole course, we have made an effort that at present, how you are using it or how you are doing your business is one thing. Here, we are trying to share the best practices and tips with you. We will talk about leads or inquiries, opportunities, follow up activities, what you need to do after you sell, the modules involved in it, and we have added a bonus topic qualification process. And one more bonus how B2C sales can be managed in the CRM. First, let's understand the beginning of the sales process. In this whole video, we will talk about sales. Leads or enquiries means you receive an enquiry from somewhere. This is the first step of your sale. The activities to generate leads is called the marketing activities. Okay. So the marketing people have generated the lead. The process after that will be covered in this chapter or in this video. So leads or enquiries have some peculiarities. Those we need to understand, and what to avoid and what to absolutely avoid. That also we need to discuss. So the first point is leads can be from many sources. They can come from various sources. From website, from email. If you're cold calling through your team, it will come from there, from partners, from references. It will come when one customer refers to another, from a random reference or from your friend. So there can be various ways how you receive an enquiry. One more special thing worth understanding. When an enquiry is received, there are many unknown facts. We do not exactly know what the customer wants. That is why it is called a lead. You have got a clue to go and speak to that customer, or this can become a customer. So many things will be unknown. So the tip for administrators and owners is that don't make too many fields compulsory in the leads module. The reason is that much data is not available with the salespeople. When an enquiry is received, that much data is available. The size is not known. Many times the contact is not known. It can happen that your friend gives you a lead or a customer gives you an enquiry. She sends you a WhatsApp message. What does she send? Suresh, Mumbai, and number. Just three things. The big fantastic leads module you have created, that data is absent. You don't know which product they want, what quantity they want, what's the rate, what is the size of the deed, how urgently they need it, exactly how they want it. You don't know. You don't know the budget. So, at the time of a lead, many things are unknown. Thus, a lead is received. The activities we do after that is called qualification. In qualification, fundamentally, what we try to do it, there are many books on the subject in English. There are many rules, many concepts, huge logic, many formulae as to how a qualification should be done. I will give you a Shuddha Desi formula that works 100%. Just ask two questions to yourself: whether I can provide what the next person wants, and whether he can provide what I want. Whether he will give it or not is not the point. Can or not. If the answers to both the questions is yes, means this is qualified, can be taken forward. Another criteria you can consider for qualification is the moment you realize that you need to work on this enquiry, we can go ahead. We will discuss qualification deeply. We have a separate topic for that. And what do we do in activities? We make calls, send emails, go and meet personally, meet them, give presentations. All these are the activities for qualification. When it gets qualified, you convert it into an opportunity. Now, this is our sales cycle. Enquiry received, You made a call or two to understand if it should be worked on or not. And when you felt it should be worked on, you converted it into an opportunity and took it ahead. Now, some tips I'm sharing with you what you should consider in the leads or enquiry module. All the enquiries you get are not leads. For example, if your existing customer gives you an enquiry, okay, means your existing customer is using your product already. Suppose you are selling machines. He's using 4 machines already and he needs 2 more. Now try to apply here the formula of qualification that I gave you. Whether I can provide what the next person wants? Certainly, he has asked for my machine only. I know the customer, right? The customer knows me. He knows I can give it. The customer with whom we are talking, can he pay us? Whether he can provide what I want? Of course he can. He is our existing customer. So, whenever you get an inquiry from an existing customer, it straight away becomes an opportunity. Qualification is not needed. You already know he is qualified. The pre-qualified leads received, many a times it happens that in the website only you have created such steps, this is for those who work on an advanced level, that the enquiry received is pre-qualified with all the required details. So you will take it directly to the opportunities. In short, the point is all the modules available in the CRM need not be used. Design it as per your process. Your administrator and boss will do it. If you are a user, you need not worry about it. If you are an administrator or a business leader or a team leader, then this is your problem. You need to think about it. The lead process always has an end to it. Either it will be dead or will convert into an opportunity. Here too, many people make a mistake. We have a dedicated video in this chapter where do people make mistakes in managing the CRM for their sales process and how these mistakes should be caught and how these should be corrected. All the things we will cover in this video. Also, the leads process will be time bound, and it is very important why it should be time bound. As you have been doing business for quite some time, you know typically when an inquiry is received, you close it in 7 days, 10 days, 15 days. Sometimes it is closed in 2 days. Some businesses are such that the inquiry is closed within 2 hours. So you always know the average time between the customer inquiring something and the time you take for the qualification. Whether he buys or not is not the point. How much time you take to qualify in deciding whether I can provide what the next person wants and whether he can provide what I want. How much time you take for that? That is the duration of the lead. And you should have this average. Only then you can work on its reporting and knowing if the process is going all right or not. There are some things that are not leads. People think it's a lead, but that is not a lead. People like or comment on your Facebook post. These are not leads. You can get a lead out of these, but all are not leads. Your Facebook friends are not your leads. Your Instagram followers are not leads. If you interact from there, then maybe a lead. It can come, that is possible. But all these are not leads. Or you have some old data, you laid your hands on some Excel file, or you had purchased a few thousand data. All these are not leads. It can happen that prospects or targets list needs to be processed to create leads. Okay. We are making a video on this topic too, which will come at the end of this chapter as a bonus. How the whole process of cold calling should be managed. Let's come to step 2 where we create opportunities. So you had received some inquiry, you qualified it, and after that you brought it in the opportunity. So what happens here? First, maybe you understand the requirement in detail. Then you try to convince the customer that you can do it. There are many ways of doing this. You will make a presentation, explain something to the customer, or give some references, arrange some meetings, maybe give them a trial, maybe give them a sample, maybe present her a POC or proof of concept. There can be many ways, but you try to convince your customer that you can do it. This is the next step. After that, probably you will give a quotation. Not necessarily you give a quotation in the specific format. Many times you just write it in the mail or tell it on the phone. That is all okay. When it becomes an opportunity, a special thing happens that you get an expected amount or an expected closing date. Now, here is the twist. Listen carefully. This expected amount or the expected closing date is necessary. Things won't work without it. But is it fixed? Is it some gospel truth? Once it is written, it cannot change? Not at all. Both the things are such that they may change with the circumstances. I will give you an example. Suppose the customer first told me that there was a requirement of one machine. So we need to talk. I went there, explained everything. Now the cost of one machine is rupees 1 million. And they told me that they would buy it at the end of this month. Now one machine is 1 million rupees end of the month is what I know now. Then I spoke to the customer, they had discussions internally and told me that they want to modify the machine. Then 200,000 rupees for modification. They also told me that they wanted it not at the end of this month, but at the beginning of the next month. Because with the modification, even we need some time to manufacture it. Now you see it is changed. Expected closing date is also changed. Also, the expected amount is changed. After that, you again had a discussion with the customer, and now the customer said that they wanted not one but two machines. Okay, now your 1.2 million rupees opportunity changed to 2.4 million rupees. Maybe the date too shifted here and there. After that, the customer called you and told you that some final negotiation needs to be made. I'm buying from you for sure, but you give it not for 2.4 million but for 2 million. So after the negotiation, finally you quoted for 2.2 million rupees. Now you see that all the reasonable reasons, for all the genuine reasons, the expected closing date and the expected closing amount will change. This is normal. This will change. Don't put it in this way that once it is entered, it is done. I'm stuck. So the expected closing amount and the expected closing date are very necessary. Then what happens? Either you get the order or you don't. One point is worth remembering here. We have discussed it earlier. How long will you keep the lead in the status of a lead and won't take it in the opportunity? Means you keep it for 7 days, 10 days. I have seen the cases where the lead is 2 years old and it is just not moving anywhere. They're just preserving it for it will come someday. That doesn't work. You should not do that. One reason why people don't mark it as dead because they think if I mark it as dead, my boss will roast me, means they will interrogate me. This should not happen. That is not the idea. Okay, now the entire process which was going on, receiving the entry, went to the opportunity, closed the opportunity. In the meantime, you did all these activities. You called, SMSed, sent WhatsApp, met them, arranged for demos or trials, gave them POCs. They gave you the documents or detailed requirement. You gave them some document of yours. Then so many times you followed up with them. Then you may have some comments. Next follow up date would be there, expected closing date would be there, or maybe just in the opportunity. If you do not log each of these in the CRM, then you are not using the CRM, right? If you just write, received an inquiry from him, and then close on the date when you get the order, this is not the use of CRM. For only doing this, you don't need a CRM. You could do it in the Excel. Let's understand this graphically. I've explained everything. Let's now understand it graphically. So it all started with a lead you received. Then you did the qualification process. This kind of a parallelogram means it is a process. The outcome can be either that it will be dead or you will convert it, means create an opportunity. Now that the opportunity is generated, again there will be some process meeting, POC, demo, trials, meetings, presentation. You do all this work. Outcome will be either you get the order or you will not get it. If you get the order, you will deliver it. Now, here there are a few things to understand. What is a process? There are two processes, rather three: qualification and sales process. Process includes all these calls, visits, meetings, discussions, emails, WhatsApp, or negotiation. Everything is included in a process. The thing to understand here is that the process from receiving the lead to qualification is short and cheap. You just have to ask a few questions, but you will understand this. But the process from creating the opportunity till closing it is usually longer and also costlier because there will be senior people involved, many more people involved. So it is always costly. So let's move ahead. The sale is done. What next? So usually it so happens that you make an invoice. If Tally is integrated, the invoice is directly created from Tally. Sangam CRM makes that. Then you collect the payment. In many companies, the responsibility to recover payment is with the salespeople. They get the incentive only after the payment is collected. That too you can manage in the CRM. You deliver the product or project. Okay. Now, if contracts are necessary, like the AMC or warranty, that can also be created here. And continuous feedback is taken at some places it is not taken. Current times do need a feedback loop with the customer. So, this will be a process. Now, let's understand which modules are involved. Let's map it process wise. You received an inquiry. You will enter the leads module. Then you created an opportunity by converting it. You will go to the opportunity module. Then you give a quotation. So there is a quotation module, a demo, POC, trial, anything you do that is in a ticket module. Why this is a ticket module? Because it is assigned to someone else. Go and do this. And as a salesperson, you want to know if it is done or not. If it is done, how perfectly it is done. It is necessary that we use the tickets module. When we do the walkthrough, we will understand it. Don't worry. Then the activities you do, call, meetings, documentation, WhatsApp, email, all this will come into the activity module. Then, if you want to make a project in it after you get the order, then there is the projects module. If you're into contracts or renewals or warranty or AMC, you have the contracts module. Now, so many modules you have mapped with the process. It is not necessary that you do all of this or you do it in the beginning. Maybe you want to start with the basics. And then, as your team gradually understands this, you can keep adding them. This line is for the owners, business leaders, and team leaders. When you implement something like a CRM, you're talking of digital transformation. Okay. So when you're transforming something, the biggest thing you should remember, digital transformation is not about technology. It is about how your team uses technology. And as we talk about the team, you must consider the team's change appetite. How big and how fast transformation these people would be able to handle. If you have a doubt about it, go slow. And the big transformation always happens through small steps, not like a cut. That what happens with a cut is not a transformation, it is a revolution. Revolution happens in the society, not in a business. In business, it's a transformation. Now, the fifth point. What is the qualification process? Now, please pay good attention. No matter if you're a user or a manager or a senior team member, a boss or an owner, whoever you are, this is the most important thing. The reason is maximum people make a mistake here. Firstly, people don't understand why there are two modules. Now you understand because there is qualification in between. What happens before qualification goes to leads module, and what happens after qualification goes to opportunities module. Now let's understand why this qualification is necessary. Why is it important? Firstly, if you want to do a meaningful analysis, qualification is necessary. So, what is meaningful analysis? Let us take an example. Suppose we have two teams, Team A and Team B. You can see it on the screen. Now, both the teams have the same number of enquiries, 100. Team A has 100, Team B has 100. Now those qualified means opportunities created. Team A did 20 and Team B did 80. About closing, both scored the same, 10 each. Now let's assume something. We need to think. I'm sure if you think along with me, if you want, pause the video and think. Then you will have lots of insights about what is happening in sales and what is not happening in sales. What is going wrong and where. You will understand very well. And function of is mentioned so that you know who to blame, right? Now, what is your observation? I told you to think. Even if you don't use the CRM, if there was no process of qualification, then it is like 100 inquiries received and 10 closed. Both the teams worked equal. So there is no difference. You started noticing the difference when you have the process in between. Now, there is no right answer for this. I'm telling you. If you think of 25 answers, you have 25 right answers. It depends on how deep you dive. Has it so happened that the leads that team A generated were useless? That is why their qualification filtered only 20? Or is it that team B's internal sales team that worked on the qualification, they did a poor job? Whatever inquiries were received, they passed on further. Come on, take this. If you understand this scene, you will understand where it is going wrong. It's not necessary that whatever I'm telling you is true. You'll have to dive deep to understand it. It can also mean that the sales team of team A did a fantastic job. These 20 opportunities they got, they closed 10. Fantastic result. Or this is also possible that the sales team of team B had received useless inquiries or they did a poor job. The inquiries were very good, but they faltered. They had got 80 inquiries, out of which they could use only 10. For one team, you feel the sales team did a fantastic job, fantastic demo, fantastic negotiation, fantastic closure. Great job. What about team B? You can give two options. The opportunity the team B got was poor, or the sales team of team B did a poor job, right? Now you start thinking about it. Pause this video and try thinking about it. Now, next, it is possible that the qualification of team A were conservative in qualifying. They were conservative in qualifying. That means even if they had the slightest doubt whether they would get the order or not, they would leave it and pass on to the next. What team B did was, with the slightest hope of conversion, they passed it on. Now, in both scenarios, we understand it. Your sale process is costlier and longer. One basic analysis that you can draw is team B sales team worked harder and they suffered losses because they had to work harder, follow up with those who were not going to buy, gave them demos, and wasted a lot of time. Whereas the sales team of team A didn't have to work hard. The work was done quickly because they had good qualified opportunities. So there is no right answer till you dive deep in the data. And if you didn't have these separate modules, you would never come to know. Okay, what will you do with this knowledge? Until now, you were doing good business. You were growing all right. You were growing so much that you wanted to buy a CRM. Till now, you never needed it. What is the need now? Hmm? There is a saying, what has brought you this far won't take you any further. You need to do something different. As you grow, you have to optimize your processes. How will you reduce the cost? You cannot reduce the price of your product. You cannot degrade the quality of your product. So you have to make your processes more efficient. If you don't know what is going wrong, how will you fix it? So CRM will help you understand where it is going wrong. So this was about what an analysis can do. There is one more thing that people often leave aside and needs good analysis. The leads that become dead, what is the reason of it? If you analyze the reasons behind it, you will understand what changes you need to bring in marketing. Even this can have several stories. We have a YouTube video on our channel to explain this in detail. One more advantage, the sales team that works after creation of an opportunity till the close of the sale will have a better focus. Not to meet people just like that, no time wastage. No time wastage is very important. Let me tell you a story about it. So let's assume that we skip this qualification process. Whatever the inquiries we receive, we meet each of them, show the demo to them. Suppose a customer gives us an inquiry of his friend. We go there, meet his friend, meet them twice, thrice, give them a nice demo. Then they asked if a certain change was possible. We said, yes, it's possible. Asked the development team, manufacturing team, and then told them, yes, it's possible. This took 5 meetings. Okay. In the 6th meeting, we submitted a quotation, started discussing. Suppose our quotation was of 1.5 million rupees. And the customer says, no, I don't have a budget of more than 300,000. You should have told me earlier. What went wrong here? We only got busy finding out whether we can provide what they want. We didn't even think about whether they can give what we want. Now, what goes wrong further? The salesperson is emotionally so much invested in that. He has done 6 meetings. Now, if he says that the order is not coming, he will hear it from his boss. So what does he do? He cuts the costs, cuts the margin, negotiates a lot, degrades further, and tries to get that order. And in this desperation, the customer is unhappy, the product quality gets affected, and you're not able to give good service. Hence, the qualification is very important. If your resource, your salesperson's time and energy is not to be wasted, qualification is a must. Cost savings we have discussed, no need to repeat, because those who go for the meeting, they give demos, their cost is more. You send samples, the cost is more. If you do POC, the cost is more. So, how can you save that cost? The second advantage is when you receive good qualified opportunities, the forecast of your sales team will be very realistic. And if your sales team is working very confidently, is happy, it is performing, their morale will be high. And you just can't beat a high morale of your sales team. Now, the question is how you will do the qualification or lay down its process. The best way is that team leaders or owners should sit down and document it as to after receiving the inquiry, how do we decide? Usually, the end result of this meeting is that you will have a couple of questions and design in such a way that if the answer to those questions is yes, we can move ahead, otherwise, not. Okay. So, if you can draft these questions and teach the sales team to ask these three questions, if the answer to these three questions is yes, then you go ahead and proceed. And if it is a no, don't proceed. As soon as I start talking about a document, people feel that it has to be a nice ISO style document. You need a consultant to create a document. Nothing like that. Take a piece of paper, sit with the sales team, and pen it down. Just write 3 to 4 lines, nothing more. Discussion happens and all agree on the point. That is what is important. Your qualification process is done. Then there is one more common mistake. I will tell you what. Let's talk about CRM. I have the experience of selling CRM for 17 years. So if I decide how I qualify, maybe I have a very complex system because I have 17 years of experience. With the first question that the person asks, I can make out if he's going to buy CRM or not. But my skills will not define the process. I will make such a process that a person who has 2 years of experience or 1 year of experience, he can also qualify, right? So, whenever you are making the steps of qualification, make them simple. Don't make it so complex that your salesperson has to be a PhD to understand it. It shouldn't be like that. It has to be very, very simple. And this is the third point where we make a mistake. Means all bosses, team leaders, they think that once they make the process and hand it over, the team will follow it for sure. This does not happen, sir. We see vehicles are parked right under the signage of no parking. People spit right under the board of no spitting. So you have to check. One HBR, I mean Harvard Business Review issue, carried a very good article. Leaders always get what they inspect. Leaders always get what they inspect. That means if you don't check after defining a process, you are sure to get nothing. Your team will not do it, or slowly the process will die. There should be someone who checks. And if yours is not a very big organization, boss himself or herself will check. Now, where is the mistake in qualification? Let's talk about that. Many people think if I give quotation, that means it is qualified. This is wrong, boss. People can give or not give quotation at any time, or they will give and not tell. So, there can be many mistakes. Don't make it like that. Qualification formula I have shared earlier. Another mistake is if any salesperson closes a deal and it is lost, okay, he has to face heavy questions. He is tortured in such a way that he has made a formidable crime. Don't keep this process. If you're so strict with them, they will not ever enter the opportunity. I will tell you how the logic works here. If in your CRM you get too many such opportunities, then they are closed on the same day on which they were created. Then understand your sales team is doing it wrong. Or if it happens that there are too many opportunities, quite old, but they are not getting closed, neither lost nor won. This means your sales team does not understand the process. They don't have the confidence to close it as lost. So, till when will you carry that corpse? What is lost should be left. Move on. So, we had made another analysis of the deals lost. There can be some 27 to 28 reasons for that. There are only two reasons that the deal is lost due to the error of the salesperson. There can be many other reasons. So, please keep this in mind. And if you know the reasons, your sales process, product, or your pricing or your strategy will be changed with its help. If you discourage your salesperson like this, then he will not share the lost with you. Then there is no good use of the CRM. You won't get the analysis ever. I've already told you the third point. When he cuts it, he doesn't enter the opportunity. The day the customer confirms the order, people create the opportunity and close it the same day. This should not happen. You need to discourage it. So many salesperson thinks the customer has said no right now, but keep it live. He will come back someday. When that someday comes, it will be another opportunity. It is not this opportunity. So cancel this one. And the idea that the customer will return someday and that's why keeping the opportunity alive is wrong. Many a times it so happens, customer is not picking up my phone, but I'm not marking the opportunity as dead. Don't you think that not picking up a phone call is a signal loud and clear enough from the customer that they are not interested? Customer is not picking up the call and you want to try something else, you try that. Call someone else up, go and meet them. But what is the point in carrying the opportunity for years or months or weeks? It's not coming, so leave it. In sales, it does not happen that you knock a door and every time you get the order. This is not a game of 100% success. Now let's understand about B2C. Till now, we were discussing about B2B. And maximum people buying CRM are from B2B businesses. B2C also buy, but the business model is different. Their CRM is different. First thing is they do not have a sales process. In B2C, customer walks in, looks, and buys. There is no process, right? In the beginning, I had told you that why a CRM is taken is to track the sales process and the sales team. In B2C, there is nothing to track. This type of CRM won't be used there. Their usage will be different. Take the example of e-commerce. So what happens is the customer visits the website, browses through products, purchases and leaves. The information you got pertains to which stage? It is of after the customer has purchased, not before that. Here, the Sangam CRM marketing features can be very useful. Yeah, they can be very useful. Like many people visited our website but don't buy anything. Even filled the form but did not complete the purchase. You can bring those people in your CRM and follow up with them. Or the existing customers who have already purchased from you. You can follow up or retarget, cross sell, upsell to them. This way it can help. So, this was the understanding of the whole sales process. In the next video, we will see how the leads are created and how they are managed. This video was a bit longer and it contained a lot of complex concepts which I wanted you to understand. If you feel that some things are not very clear yet, I will request you to watch this video again. And watching it again will not be a waste of time. Certainly. Let's meet in the next video very soon. Thank you for watching this. Thank you.